The shocking announcement generated additional actions by the Mocoa Police Department, starting with a reinforcement of the police in the hospital, especially in the corridor of the room occupied by Carlos. Upon learning the contents of the fax, Andre, who was next to his cousin, turned pale and, with great effort, tried not to show anything to his cousin. Shortly afterwards, Officer Ramirez held a meeting with Dr. Ana and the hospital staff, when Andre received a call from Carolina, his secretary at VEMP. The young woman detailed that Maria had been found by the police, in the largest freezer in the house's pantry. She had been found wrapped in the bedclothes next to a revolver, and her body showed a gunshot wound at the level of the heart. All the fingerprints collected on the weapon by the technical police were Carlos's. Afterwards, Carolina asked Andre for guidance on the procedures to be adopted in view of the exposed situation. Quite stunned, Andre said that the next day he would go to the VEMP office in Cali, at which time he would hold a meeting for which he requested the summoning of Attorney Sevilla and 4 other people that he then listed, in addition to himself. The recent set of occurrences, as well as the inevitable repercussion of the facts in the national press, moved the Colombian police in an unusual way. Solving that imbroglio became one of the main priorities of the Colombian authorities. Carlos, who initially appeared to be a victim, became a possible murderer of his own wife. Relatives and close friends of the Valdivia family, in telephone conversations, commented that Maria, in conversations with cousins and some friends, had shown veiled dissatisfaction in her relationship with her husband. She had even hinted at the possibility of the couple separating. Nurses and doctors who assisted Carlos did not seem to believe in this suggested possibility, but knew that in the face of amnesia due to trauma, current behavior could differ from the patient's attitudes before the trauma. In thought, Dr. Ana agreed with Carlos' family members. In her heart, she believed that this man was not a murderer. She seemed attracted by Carlos' gaze, and even liked the stubble he now sported. She vibrated with the few words he tried to say, and with the evolution of that patient. In turn, Carlos was grateful for the commitment of the entire medical team. He was gentle in dealings and cooperative in all dealings. He showed a clear desire to understand more about himself and everything that was going on around him. About Ana, Carlos began to feel a growing affection. Outside the hospital, the police were investigating assorted fingerprints found on the Mercedes. This material was sent to the police in Cali, which had a computer capable of cross-referencing information. If the prints were from a criminal already registered, the fact would soon be known. Days later, Ramirez and Andre Valdivia traveled to the capital to deal with Carlos' immediate fate when he was discharged from hospital. As for Carlos Valdivia's condition, the medical team seemed to have been right in diagnosing the degree of brain impairment. In the second half of July, the patient had not regained his memory and had evident difficulties in speaking. The day before he was discharged, Carlos, in a wheelchair, was informed about his clinical and legal situation.